to the wedding feast. The heart of man yearns to love and to be loved. We need not just to be admired, but to have someone care deeply for us and to be able to care for them. There is a great thirst in our being to find the right person who will really understand us, who will comfort us, who will need us, who will share with us. Love is strange and beautiful. There are so many contradictions in it. It is in some mysterious way, beyond time, a communion and a presence which is anchored in eternity. And yet it is firmly anchored in time. For if it is the opening of the gate of our being, it is also daily fidelity. It is mutual forgiveness, mutual help in times of suffering. Love is also a quest for the infinite. This is in a way the beauty, but also the tragedy of man. We always want to go further and wider, higher and deeper, or in knowledge, in possessions, or in experience of the infinite. This is at the heart of mysticism in all civilization and religions. We seek union with the infinite. It is this which is the source of many experiments with drugs or alcohol. It is this which is the source of all human activity. This quest for the non-infinite is a deep motivation in domination, to possess more and more power. So it is also in love. We wish to love in an infinite way, to love externally, without the limit, and until death. We are very limited by our need for food and sleep. We are limited by our human bodies, as we are limited in our minds and heart. And it is this conflict between the limitations of our being, metaphysical as well as purely physical and spiritual, which brings much anguish of the human condition. In our thirst for love, we very quickly idolize wanting the loved one to be perfect, although we soon discover that the perfect man and woman do not exist. Yet the thirst for perfection, for the meeting which will carry us out of time into an embrace of eternity, is still there. And when man does not find this perfect love, he creates barriers. He will tend to conclude, as these barriers grow, that love does not exist. It is true that people who have been hurt quickly rebuild barriers and seek more to be admired than to be loved. They become frightened of love, for in loving, we become vulnerable. We can be wounded if the person we love does not respond as we want, if our call for union is not answered as we'd like it to. A lover, in some ways, offers himself without a barrier into the moment of love. And if this offering is rejected or scorned, then he suffers more deeply than anyone. A child abandoned by his parents, a mother by her child, a lover by a lover. These are people with wounds so deep that they may never be healed. Love is frightening because it means risk. It means respect for the liberty of the other person. And that means not being able to forecast how it will evolve. I can be faithful until death, but the other may not. And I too might be faithful, and I too might be unfaithful, for I sense my weaknesses. This is a risk of love. We are also frightened of love because it's linked to a world of sexuality and procreation, which is at the same time beautiful and disturbing. It is beautiful because the existence of each other is a vast family of mankind, all throughout time and into the future, has come from the union of two people freely consenting to love one another. But it is rare that at the moment of conception there is no love, and this is the beauty. We're all yearning to find the perfect friend, and yet mankind at all times and all ages is questing, thirsting, yearning for this perfect love. We all yearning to find the perfect friend, the lover who will carry me, as in some mysterious way will carry him, in our quest for the eternal flowering in this time. Jesus comes to us under various names. Jesus is the healer. He is the shepherd who guides us. He is also the Lamb, the sacrifice, who takes away the sins of the world. Jesus is the Savior, the teacher, the prophet. He is the Christ, Son of the living God. He is the Son of Man. But he has a secret name, and this is the name of the lover. And this is the fundamental person and being of Jesus. He is almighty, for he is our God. He commands over life and death. He commands the elements of nature, and he can turn water into wine. But this power is not at the service of admiration when men want to make him king. Jesus is a lover. This is his secret, for it cannot be known outside of an experience. Jesus, the lover, calls forth the infinite in our hearts. He called forth those deep energies of love which are hidden in our beings. And when he sent us the Spirit, it is the Spirit which awakens us, this call to love and to be loved. This is why the Spirit is most gentle, the most quiet, and the most tender beings. He touches us in the very depths where we are frightened and vulnerable. My beloved speaks and says to me, "Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away." Songs of Solomon 2, verse 10. This is beautifully written by Jane Vanier.